The other thing that my children say about what is it that I do is my daughter, who's 7, asked, "Bruh, how do you expect to make money if all you do is talk about data, data, data?" So that's the other thing that my kids remind me, that my goal is to help companies make money, not just to talk about data.
So
I feel like there's got to be a hard rule. Your kids can't call you that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the newest episode of the Superposition game show, the only game show on the internet where we bring nerds of all types together to play insane games with me and tell us all about their careers in the data and AI spaces. I'm really excited to have Hannah, Christine, and Allison here. It's going to be a great episode talking all about their careers and their interests. And so I wanted to do some brief introductions before we start, as is tradition here on the show. So to start off, my name is David Cohen. I am the founder of Superposition, a consulting company where we help other consulting companies in the data and AI spaces build workshops just like the one you're going to see today to more effectively sell projects to clients as well as deliver them, and also to coach them in terms of how to grow and build their companies. So the workshop activities you're going to see today are a direct reflection of the work we do with our clients. And unfortunately for Hannah, Christine, and Allison, they're going to get to find out firsthand some of the craziness that happens when you run a workshop. So, like I said, very excited to have all three of you here. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Awesome. So we'll start by doing some brief introductions from each of you, like I said. So the tradition here on the show, though, is that we'd like to hear also what your secret talents are. So as you introduce yourself, obviously explain your name, what you do, and also what your secret talent is. And ideally, if you want to demonstrate it, you can do that as well. Keep in mind that from here on out, everything that we talk about can result in either getting points for the purposes of the game show or me taking away points. So everything is an opportunity to get points from here on out. Does that make sense?
Sounds good.
All right,
Yeah,
so Allison, you're at the top of my list here, so we'll start with you. If you don't mind introducing yourself and your secret talent, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. So nice to meet you, David. It's good to be here. I am Allison Yama. I'm founder of Allison Yama Pricing Coach. I do pricing consulting and coaching for pricing professionals. And so even my mom doesn't know what I do, but I help B2B companies improve their pricing so that they have better profitable growth. It's a good way to put it. My secret talent is that I ride and train horses on the side, and I love it. I've done it forever. It is my passion, and I have 2 horses currently. One is 21, and the other is just a baby at 4 years old. So I do have show and tell. I'm not going to ride a horse right now, obviously, but sorry to go off screen, but That's me. So it's a little show and tell.
Yeah.
So professional looking.
So a follow-up question. So you do dressage then? Is that what it's called, or is it?
I do dressage, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get into that? I'm curious.
So I started in Pony Club when I was about 12, and Pony Club is very focused on eventing. So 3 equestrian sports: dressage, stadium jumping, and cross country. I did that for a long, long time. And then I had a super bad accident where I fractured my spine, recovered from that, and had another accident where I again injured my spine. And I said, I think I've had enough jumping for now. And so then I just stuck with dressage, and I've been doing that the last 16 years. So I love it. Love it, love it.
Yeah, and on the work side, I'm curious because I feel you mentioned that your mom doesn't know what you do. I feel like most of us are in the consulting space. That's like the most common thing is that nobody knows what we do. We just sort of exist, and somehow people give us money. So like, I'm curious how that, like, if you face that your whole career as well.
Yes. Yeah, I have. And I've been a consultant. I've been in industry doing, I was VP of pricing for a company. And so even within those companies, people are like, what is it that you do? So, in essence, we create pricing strategies. And so when you go to a tech website, for example, and you see a good, better, best packaging scheme on their site, that is a pricing professional behind the scenes trying to figure out what should be in each package, what the price level should be. Should it be per person? Should it be per megabyte? All of those questions are answered by people just like me.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you for that introduction. All right. Hannah, you're up next.
Hey, I'm Hannah Rounds. I'm a data strategist. So what I do is I go from company to company and say, hey, let's talk with all these people. Let's see how you can use data to make more money or reduce costs. And then I also focus on data governance, which is essentially helping organizations manage their data more effectively so that, the using it part that I talked about, they actually can do that instead of just tripping over each other. So those are kind of the two things that I focus on. My mom also doesn't understand what I do, but, that is the way of the world. My secret talent is that I can ride a unicycle, and I did promise David that I would send him a video so that I can get it stitched in here. Unicycling was actually my top activity from about age 7 to about age 16. It was something that I did all the time. I competed in national and international competitions. So I used to be really good. These days I'm not nearly as good, but still pull it out from time to time.
So you're like a professional grade unicyclist.
Well,
or might have
professional in the sense that I have won some competitions.
Yeah.
But not professional in the sense that anyone has ever paid me to use.
So, how did you mentioned you've been doing this for a while as well? I'm also curious how you got started. Is it like who gave you a unicycle for the first time, or did it just catch your attention? You were like, "This is it for me. I don't like bicycles. Unicycles are the ones."
I was in elementary school, and in our elementary school, there was a community ed after-school program where someone taught unicycling. And so I literally learned in the elementary school gym. And then my parents gave me a unicycle for my 7th birthday. And I was too short to actually reach the pedals on it. So my dad put wooden blocks on the pedals so that I could ride it effectively, which is like, that's its own thing, but it's, it was a ton of fun and loved it. And then there's actually, in the Twin Cities where I live, there's actually a very large group of people who unicycle. So it ends up being a pretty organized activity.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Cool. All right. Well, Christine, you're last but not least. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah. Well, thankfully, Hannah and Allison went first because I feel like I'm a wannabe in both of their camps in terms of data strategy and pricing. So I would say I'm really focused on B2B pricing like Allison, but I'm really interested in the tools and technologies that would enable it and connecting data systems and people so that they can, execute their strategies within real data and systems. And my not so secret talent, although I didn't make the sweater that I'm wearing, is that I knit. And I've been knitting since I was about 8 years old, and I was bored out of my mind at my grandparents' house. I don't know if that's like the traditional way to get started, but now with YouTube, it is absolutely mind-boggling what you can learn and what people record and share. And what I like about it is that the projects really start with like 4 or 5 basic skills, like casting on, knitting, purling, increasing, decreasing. Like you're really just moving yarn in the front and the back of a fabric. And that's like absurdly simple, but you can do so many different things with it. And, for Halloween, I finished up something that I started last year. My daughter wore as part of her witch costume and it's a woven stitch. I'm gonna get it super close to the camera
Can
here.
you like go further up so we can see it? Oh man.
Yeah. So this is
cool.
this woven stitch, and it turned into like her little witch shawl. And I recently learned how to make these like cool buttonholes. I think my secret talent with knitting is persistence. After like 35-ish years of knitting, I know how to do a lot.
That's amazing. I feel like knitting is one of the things like fishing that I don't have the patience for. And I'm very in awe of somebody that has the capability to sit there and do that.
I would say similar to fishing, that it's extremely not cost effective. Like, you're not really going to feed your family on fish. You're going to spend hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars investing in like tackle and, a Lund boat. And, in the Twin Cities where I live, you could get into ice fishing. And it's the same thing with knitting. You're going to have this massive closet full of like tools and your stash of yarns and projects that you get started on and don't finish. So I would say similarly impractical and really fun.
Well, as somebody that also picked a very impractical and not cost-efficient hobby in photography, I can relate. So, also for the audience, don't go into photography if you don't have cash to spend. It's not a very good cost-effective hobby either. So, thank you, Christine. That's amazing.
It sounds like all of our hobbies have all of that in common.
Well, we all unintentionally picked hobbies that have require a lot of equipment or other things.
I always wish I was a runner.
I do that too, and you'd be surprised. That also costs a lot of money when you injure yourself from running too much. But yeah, no, awesome. Thank you all for coming on the show. I'm really excited to get different perspectives from all of you. I think each of you has a different sort of viewpoint on the data world and how it works, and different sort of specialties within it. So I'm really excited to have you play the games and see where the conversation goes. So are you guys ready to play the first game?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. So the way that these games work that I didn't tell you before on our backstage is that there's a bit of a twist to every single game that we're going to do today. So I'll explain every game as we're going along. And obviously I'll give points for your performance, quote unquote, for each of the games. What I didn't tell you is that I can also take away points. So as you're going along, if that there's sort of like twists to each game in terms of what happens, that may also take away points. And obviously you're competing against each other. The winner of the show will get a slightly more extended time to talk about whatever project they're working on at the end of the show. So keep that in mind as we're going along. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So the prize is getting to talk?
More. Yes. Everybody gets to talk.
All right.
And you join the very exclusive club of like winners of the game show, and a special postcard from me. All of you get postcards. So the winner gets a different one.
Oh, I didn't know there was a special postcard on the line.
There is. I'll tell you all about it after the show. But so the first game is called Draw Your Career. So as you can imagine, the concept of the game is essentially Pictionary. So instead of using words to tell the story of your career, I want you to draw a picture, right? So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to, in the white box that you see next to your name, draw a story that tells essentially where your career has, I got you. I'll fix it. Where your career has progressed, how you have landed on where you are today, and sort of to tell the story of your work in general and your interests and just how you landed where you are. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the twist I didn't tell you about is that you're going to have to do all of that with your non-dominant hand. You may have seen that in some of our previous videos. So if you're right-handed, you have to do it with your left hand. And if you're left-handed, you have to do it with your right hand. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes in a second. And then you'll go ahead and get started drawing. After you draw and the time finishes up, I'm going to have you each explain, and then I'll give you points for whatever the drawing is. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm not
Ready.
sure that my drawing is working here.
Yeah, I'm not
When
able
you-
to get the tools.
When you put us full screen? I don't see my...
Yeah, let's go out of full screen. 1 sec. You should be able to see it now.
Okay, perfect.
Right? Cool. Let me set that timer. We're all good to draw?
All good.
All right.
Yeah.
And 3, 2.
Wait. I don't have a pen.
Oh, it's on the left side.
Okay, there we go. Got it. Nailed it. First try.
Okay, perfect. 3, 2, 1, go. And so what happens in the actual recording of the show here is that there will be music playing for this part. So for you guys to help you concentrate, there won't be, but just so you know.
I cannot even resize this. That is my level of skill with my left hand.
I was about to be really impressed you drew that with your left hand, just like with a pen.
Nope. I'm using cheater stuff.
Ooh, what is that? I don't think anybody's ever done whatever you're doing.
Why does that feel really familiar to me?
Yeah, hold on. I don't know what you did. All right, you guys have about 1 minute and 45 seconds, so please continue drawing. And another thing I didn't tell you is that you can draw anything you want on any part of the board for this section. So if you want to mess with each other's drawings, you can do that too.
Oh, I feel like there's some game theory there. You want to make friends or enemies.
Are you, Christine, are you having trouble with putting down whatever?
Yep.
Okay, let me, 1 sec. Let me fix that. Just 1 sec. All right, there. Your box should be set in place now, so you won't have any trouble drawing whatever.
Thanks.
Okay, you have about 1 minute left. So I'm gonna add another minute here just because Christine has some issues drawing. So you're using shapes, which most people don't do, but I think this is a smart workaround for this game.
I think it just says I do too much PowerPoint.
Fair. Welcome to the club.
Which I'm not even good at that, so then I use beautiful.ai.
It's not a plug,
I want
but
to
it
use
is.
that too. How do I do that?
Sorry, what were you saying, Allison?
I was commenting on beautiful AI. I'm not artistic at all. I am married into a family of artists, and my kid is an artist, but and my brother and my mom, and no, it skipped me. PowerPoint is beyond me. I want to do bullets and words on PowerPoint.
Okay, so you have about 40 seconds, so please go ahead and finish any final thoughts on your drawings. Hannah, I see that you have a wonderful drawing already ready to go.
It's so beautiful.
We even have stickers on the board now.
Trackpad.
Okay, you have about 10 seconds left, so please go ahead and finish your final thoughts on this activity before we start talking through them. Time is up. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do for the second part of this activity is you're going to have to each explain the story of your drawing. So for what we'll do is, as you explain it, after you do, I will give you points for how great your drawing is and also for the story behind it. So you get points both for the quality of the drawing and then how well it ties to the story that you tell the audience. Does that make sense?
Hannah, are you a football coach in your spare time?
Well, we're about to find out. Don't spoil it yet.
I'm impressed.
So Hannah, we'll start with you. So let's talk through your drawing. Walk us through whatever's happening in your like football career, apparently.
Yeah, in my career as a football coach slash pricing analyst slash data strategist, in the upper left hand corner, you can see I really started my career with a magnifying glass on the money because I was doing pricing work for Target. And see, you'll notice that I have a red line, but it's going up and to the right. And that's because Target performed very well in that time. So use of color. Yeah, loved doing data science work for pricing at Target. The next phase of my career, after my second of 4 children was born, I actually switched and became a writer, a technical writer, focused on in the fintech space and explaining all those fancy algorithms in the background. What are they actually doing? And why should you or shouldn't you buy these fintech products? So that was kind of career 2.0. That is overlaid. It's actually very confusing what I was trying to do, but you know how there's like nodes and lines connecting nodes? That's what I was trying to convey there, knowledge. And then I was like, Christine had the smart idea, or Allison had the smart idea to start using stickers, and I just put the pen. Okay, and then in the upper right-hand corner, the third phase of my career, you can see that it says talk, and it's a talking bubble because my children describe what I do as, do you simply listen to people and then say what they say in other words? And the answer is yes, that is what I do. The other thing that my children say about what is it that I do is my daughter, who's 7, asked, "Bruh, how do you expect to make money if all you do is talk about data, data, data?" So that's the other thing that my kids remind me, that my goal is to help companies make money, not just to talk about data.
So
I feel like there's got to be a hard rule. Your kids can't call you that.
yeah, so hold on. So I know you posted about this on LinkedIn and I commented on this, but I need to hear the story about why your daughter calls you bruh.
She usually does not call me bruh. That is that's a new thing. Much like 6'7", bruh is the Gen Z lingo, and all my kids are Gen Z, and it is really hard to get them to not say bruh and 6'7", and thankfully Skibbity is behind us, so I'm feeling happy.
You know, as people that work with numbers frequently, I feel like the unfortunate situation we're in where like the numbers 6 and 7 come up often is kind of a problem.
Yeah.
But no, awesome. All right. So I think this answer is worth quite a few points because of like, I feel like you have multimedia answered here and you have like different types of formats. So I'm going to give you 200 points for this answer. And then everybody else is competing against that. So we'll see how everybody else does. So Christine, I'm curious about your answer because you chose a very unique approach to this. Like I mentioned, nobody's ever used exclusively shapes. So explain yourself.
All right. So I'm dyslexic and I draw worse than my 5-year-old.
Okay.
So I needed a crutch. And that probably describes a lot of why I'm interested in technology, is that I do feel like it, and you hear that more and more and more with AI, like human machine teaming. But the first part of my career, I graduated with this Bachelor of Arts in Econ, which was not very technical. And I was working for an airline. I did pricing. We had these systems. One time, right around the holidays, I accidentally deleted all of the domestic fares in the Northwest Airlines system because I was supposed to be raising the price by $15. And I set the prices in the system, but I didn't actually publish them. And so it was my first time using this tool, and the person who was coaching me didn't walk me through all the steps. And so I staged the prices, but I didn't publish the new ones. And then I deleted all of the existing prices. And the next day when I came into work, I realized that like I'd really screwed it all up, and I kind of called in, and I had this idea that I was supposed to be this individual contributor. I was supposed to be a rock star at this tactical execution of pricing. And there were other people who were in charge of the strategy and the network planning and the fleet management. And all I was supposed to do was kind of control match for American Airlines from like Memphis to the West, and just monitor that we were in line with their prices. And I started to realize like what I was terrible at as a human and as a dyslexic person who was writing these 7-character fare codes, and what the power of pricing systems were. So it's kind of hard knocks of what people do and what computers do really well. And then as I moved away from that tactical pricing role, I became more of like a business analyst and more of a data scientist, really trying to do some more number crunching and then alignment of different parts of the organization. So in the past few years, I've gotten super interested in supply chain and communicating the operational value of businesses. So like when you do consumer products, you talk about kind of features and benefits and value. But when you do business to business pricing, you talk about like delivery timelines, you talk about warranties, you talk about all these different operational aspects of the business and putting value to those. And I love that because you get to hear about industrial manufacturing and all these kind of techie operational systems that I didn't learn about in school. And like Hannah, I just love listening to people who like their jobs and are proud of what they do, and then helping the businesses communicate the value of those internal operations and how they impact their customer base. So I would say I'm like the odd triangle, and then my job is connecting the dots within the organization. And then I drew a big box around it. Like as you keep progressing, you learn more and more how to knit systems and people together through these business processes and tools. And I'm less of the trying to be an individual rock star and more trying to help other people contribute the best that they can.
I appreciate the callback to your secret talent there, even if you didn't mean to do that.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think we'll give you some extra point there for the callback too. So I think I'll give you 250 points, Christine.
Oh.
So now it's a real competition. Now you guys are gonna get very into it. So Allison, let's talk about yours.
All right. So the bar is raised. So I drew my best. The stickers were to highlight some key areas in my career. But when the doodles on the left are intended to be doodleish like that, because honestly, ever since high school into my 20s and when I went to graduate school, I did so many different jobs. I taught aerobics for a little bit. I was a waitress. I was a salesperson. I was a manager. And I really feel like at the time I thought, where am I going with all of this? And when I look back on it, it made me so more well-rounded in my skills that I can appreciate all of the different weird jobs that I had. And then I was in graduate school when I heard a speaker come into my class, and he was so dynamic and so passionate talking about pricing that I thought, I have to work for him. I had no idea who this guy was. I just knew he was the type of guy I wanted to work for. And it turns out that that was Reed Holden. And Reed Holden wrote a book with Tom Nagel, and it was called The Strategy and Tactics of Pricing, which is considered to be the Bible of value-based pricing. And I applied to one company when I left graduate school, and it was his, and I got a job there. Thankfully, it started my whole career in pricing. And those two were my mentors, and they were absolute brilliant thinkers, very different in how they thought about pricing, but I could not have wanted a better education in pricing. And I had to price in all different industries. It was a really exciting time in my career. And I worked up to be a principal in the firm, and that was really exciting. And then I started my family, and I loved it. And I stayed home with my kid for a little bit, and then I thought I want to go back to work. And I went back into consulting, and I went back to work for Reed again. And I started again at the manager level. And then I worked my way up to a director level again in the firm. And I was managing the consulting staff, doing all the marketing, doing sales, doing consulting. I really loved it. Content creation, the whole bit. And I decided from there I wanted to go into industry and try my hand at actually pricing within a company and implementing it and doing all that. And I had to start at a director level. And so I worked then from a director level up to a VP level doing pricing transformations at different companies. And learning as I went and bringing those learnings to other companies. And I started a brand for myself, basically, that I was doing all of these pricing transformations. And so then I wanted to come out on my own and be a consultant. And so now I'm my own boss. And now I am obviously doing pricing strategy for a lot of companies, but really doing it on my own with what I've learned over the past 25 years of doing pricing. And so that's where I am today.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I think that the journey of kind of going different places and jumping all over the place, but ending up on your own because that's something that you always seemingly wanted to do is I can relate. And being in the consulting space as well, I think all of us here can like understand the like progression of like trying different things and being in different roles over your career. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you have to be prepared for, making changes. You don't just have to do one thing, and there's not a straight line in anyone's career that I know of. And so there are a lot of times when I gave up some things in order to move to learn what I wanted to learn or do what I wanted to do or work with who I wanted to work with. And then I tried to continually improve and advance my career from there. So it's a series of lines instead of one straight line.
Yeah, I think that's a recurring sort of theme of people that come on the show and they talk about their careers is that I don't think anybody's career is a straight line. And for anybody that's earlier in their career watching this show, you'll know and find out from people here and from anybody you watch on the show that it's sort of a, both up and down and sort of back and forth motion that happens in a career where you try different things. And especially if you work in consulting, it's all over the place in both good and bad ways. So thank you for sharing
Mhm.
that, Allison.
Mhm.
And I'm going to add for people who are early in their career, Allison applied to one place. I probably applied to 300 places
Oh,
before I
wow.
finally got a job that wasn't in the back of a warehouse
Mm.
running around with packages. So just know that your mileage may vary on applying to one place.
Yeah.
This is true. I would not recommend just applying to one place.
I feel like Hannah, that deserves some points for your persistence in your career. I'm gonna give you 100 points for for applying to that many. Or how about I'll give you 1 point for every job you just said. So we'll do
Oh man.
300 points for every job you applied to. And then Allison, we'll keep it relatively close here. So I'll give you 250 points as well. So you guys are all within the same range. How about that?
Nice.
Awesome. Okay, so thank you all for your wonderful answers there. So we'll move on and play the second game if you guys are ready. Ready? Okay.
Yep.
So the second game is called Tell Me a Lie. Again, pretty self-explanatory concept. I sort of mentioned to you what this is before the show as well. But we're going to play 2 truths and a lie. So you'll notice there's 3 stickies on the board. They're all the same color. What I want you to do is, in the red stickies, to put in 3 facts about yourself. They can be true, or 2 of them should be true and 1 of them should be false. But you're not going to tell anybody which is which until after you put them down. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So half of the point of this game is for you to come up with 3 things about yourself that are conceivably all true. And then the second half of the game is you're going to get to explain what the lies are, what the facts are. And then the other contestants are going to get to ask you 1 follow-up question each. Okay? After which, they will get to guess which of the 3 they think is incorrect. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The twist here is that for this activity, I also get to play. So you're not only trying to fool them, you're trying to fool me as well. However, if I guess correctly and the rest of them don't, then they lose points. And so on this activity, you'll get points both for getting people to guess incorrectly and also getting me to guess incorrectly as well.
This is like another TV show called Is It Cake?
Correct.
Where the bakers make.
Yeah, this is very much like that. All right, so are we ready to do it? So I'll give you a minute and a half here just to put in your answers or facts about yourself. But any questions about how this game works?
Nope.
Could take that as a no. So go ahead and start putting in your facts about yourself, please.
Oh shoot. What is copy again?
Like copy text?
Yeah. If I want to copy a box and just.
Oh, Control C.
Oh, it is. Okay.
It's like the same thing as any other. Or I can copy it for you if you'd like.
Oh no, it worked. It worked that time.
You can
Thank
also
you.
double click the stickies and you don't have to copy anything. You can just type it into it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so timer, you have about 10 seconds left on the timer, but go ahead and finish up your answers if it runs out. Okay, so time is up. Let me do one more thing before we start. Ooh. Okay, so we're all ready. So again, the way that this is going to work is that I'm going to ask each of you to explain your facts about yourself. You'll notice that I've also put in 4 black stickies with our names on the top. What we're going to do is after each person goes, I'm going to ask each of you to ask your follow-up questions, and then I'll ask you to guess which one you think is incorrect. Any questions?
Nope.
Perfect. So Hannah, we'll start with you. Run us through your facts first.
All right. My 3 facts are I have 4 kids.
Okay.
I think most data quality problems should be fixed at the source. And my favorite part of my job is sales.
Okay. So Allison, you get a follow-up question?
Oh, all right. What are the ages and sexes of your kids?
My youngest is almost 2. She's a girl. I have an almost 7-year-old girl, a 9-year-old girl, and a 12-year-old boy.
Okay. And then Christine?
I get a follow-up question.
Yeah, each of you gets a follow-up question.
When you say fixed at the source, your data quality questions, who should be doing the fixing?
Typically, I would say a system admin or a particular person who has been trained to identify and fix the problem. So I would call that person a data steward, except for most organizations balk at that term. And so we don't call those people data stewards, but secretly that's what they are.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to bring the stickies with our names on them down. So what I want you to do is to drag the sticky with your name on it, the black one, I mean, to the fact or to Hannah's fact that you think is a lie. So if you think it's a lie, just move your name to it. And as a reminder, if you pick the one that I pick, or if you don't pick the one that I pick and you're wrong, you lose points. So we ready?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Hannah, which one is the incorrect one?
The middle one. I think most data quality problems should be fixed at the source. I think
Whoa.
some data quality problems should be fixed at the source. And a lot of things called data quality problems are not data quality problems at all, but a problem with understanding what the data is or what it's meant to mean, and should really be solved through like a curated data set or master data management. So I actually don't think that most data quality problems should be fixed at the source. I think some portion of them should be.
Okay, so
I love Sydney. It's
I
my
was-
favorite part.
I was not expecting you to say that at all. Like that was you very much caught me by surprise with this answer, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
kind
hot
of blew
take.
my mind. I don't disagree with you, but also was not like it's so typical for people to dislike selling themselves. So
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit, Hannah. So you do like sales then. So your favorite part of your job is the sales piece of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nice.
And I think a little bit different than you. My company is like 10,000 people, not my company. I don't own it. But there's about 10,000. This is one of my 4 children. So yeah, 10,000 people. So when you talk about like, hey, where I'm admiring the problem and I get to help frame up what a solution might be, that's actually in the sales cycle.
All right. So I feel like the unexpected sort of nature of that answer deserves more points. And the fact that you got us all to guess it wrong means you get even more. So I'll double up your points here and get you to 1,000 points. So no pressure to everybody else. Unfortunately, because you both got it wrong, that means that you have to lose a slight amount of points as well. So Christine, you go down to 200, and Allison, you also go down to 200. So we got to catch up for these next ones.
Okay.
All right, Christine, let's talk through yours.
all right, so I'll just read them, I guess. I was born in Hong Kong, not the United States.
Okay.
I owned and have sold through 11 rental properties, and I can code in 4 languages.
Okay. So
It's tough when there's numbers in there, and then you're trying to determine, is it 11 properties or is it 5? Tricky.
all right. So Hannah and Allison, you know the deal. You get to ask 1 follow-up question each. So Allison,
Where did you move after Hong Kong?
London.
What neighborhood of Hong Kong were you born in?
I don't know. I was too young to remember. Actually, we moved every 6 weeks because of my dad's job. We had like corporate housing.
Okay.
Hmm.
Any other follow-ups?
We just get more follow-ups?
No, well, each of you gets one. So I think, Hannah, did you ask yours already? Sorry.
Oh yeah. Yep. I preempted.
Oh, okay. And then
Maybe I
Allison, do
need to
you want to
listen
ask
twice
about
for
anything else,
input.
or do you just like followed up Hannah's question?
No,
Okay.
I don't think I want to ask anything
Fair
else.
enough. So move your sticky to the one you think is a lie here. Feel like I'm just gonna go with something else just to contradict you guys, just to make the game more fun if you're wrong. Okay, Christine, which one is incorrect?
Hong Kong.
There you
I was
go.
born in
Oh,
I was born in London. We moved to Hong Kong when I was like 15 months old
Okay, so
for
you weren't born
a
in the
little
U.S. You
while.
just flipped the order of where you were born.
hmm
Nice. So your dad did do like your dad had a job that required you to move around.
Yeah, he was super into languages, and he did management company consulting, and he got a job in the UK because that was like a way to go to all these different places where he could speak French and Spanish and a little bit of German, and then worked for Shell Oil for a bit. And my mom moved us to Hong Kong because she was not keen on having 2 kids under 3 on her own. So she was like, all right, we're coming. Figure it out.
Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. So cool. All right. So once again, Christine, you fooled everybody. So you get more points here.
I didn't fool you, apparently.
Well, but that's okay. That's I don't count as much. You still get points for that. So we'll give you 400 points for it. And then like last time, Hannah, that means you lose some points. Ooh, no, that's not losing points. That's losing points. And then so do you, Allison. So I think for this last activity, you're going to have to get everybody to guess it wrong to get back in the
oh
game.
boy.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Walk us through your 3 facts about yourself.
Okay. I love games and puzzles of all types. I'm ambidextrous, and that sentence didn't come out, but I won an adventure race that was 4+ hours long.
I'll fix it.
Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. So Hannah and Christine, you get your follow-ups. So go ahead.
In terms of ambidextrous, is it for all tasks, or is it like more specific to like if you were gonna bat, or like is it all things equal, or is it just some?
It's just some. So I can do sports with my right hand, but I write primarily with my left. And then I can do my mouse with my right or my left hand. You're probably surprised by that, by my drawing, but it's true. So, yeah, it depends on the activity. I think I eat backwards from what most people do too, with the fork, I think in my left hand.
Okay. Hannah?
What was on the T-shirt from the adventure race that you won?
Ooh, I like it.
The T-shirt that I wore.
No, like the T-shirt. You know how you always get a T-shirt at a race. What did that T-shirt look like from the one that you won?
We just got medals at the end. We didn't get T-shirts for that.
Okay. It's a good follow-up question. I like that one. So you guys know the drill. Pick the one that you think is a lie.
I feel like I'm going out on a limb on this one.
Okay. Allison, which one is incorrect?
The only thing that I'm debating on is I think, Allison, you actually said something that was like, oh, I got to use pictures because I'm using my non-dominant hand. And so
What, do you want to
But
change your
the-
answer, Hannah? You got last chance.
Oh, no, I'm gonna keep it because the t-shirt answer is sus.
And
I agree.
you're listening to your kids, right?
Yeah.
You listen for a living.
That's a good Gen Z lingo right there. Allison, let's hear it.
All right. So the lie is the adventure race. But I was in an adventure race and we didn't get t-shirts.
I do agree it was sus. So what so you are ambidextrous then?
I am ambidextrous. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
So when I played lacrosse, I was able to switch hands. I recently broke my wrist, my right wrist, which was my mouse hand, and I was surprised at how quickly I could just pick up working my mouse with my left hand. So yeah, ambidextrous.
And let's do this. I'm curious what your favorite board game is. And if you guess what my favorite board game is, I'll give you double the points for this activity.
Oh wow. Okay. My favorite board game is Monopoly.
Okay.
Let's see. Your favorite board game though. You did mention Pictionary at the beginning, so it might be Pictionary.
Okay. It's actually Monopoly as well. Even though I think it's not objectively not a great board game, it is my favorite board game. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah. Awesome. So we'll do some points here. I feel like the fact that you also like Monopoly and deserves some points, and you got Christine to get it incorrectly. But unfortunately, Hannah and I did get it correct. So we'll do like a moderate amount of points here. So I'll put you at 500.
But maybe she should get some bonus points for like the t-shirt thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that. And then
I feel like you get bonus points for mom usage of Gen Z lingo, though.
yes, correct. Yeah,
It
correct
was
usage of
sus.
the word sus. So she gets points.
That was good.
And then Christine, you unfortunately will slightly lose some points because you got this one incorrect. But don't worry, there's this last one will give you a chance to come back. Okay, are we ready for the final game now? That was pretty great.
Mhm.
Thank you all for lying with such skill.
I'm a terrible liar, by the way, in real life.
You would never be
IRL.
able to tell from this activity. You're a great liar, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, we ready for the last game?
Yes.
Okay, so the thing I want to do for the last game is talk about some of the lessons that you've learned in your careers. So you'll notice the game is called Learning the Weirdest Lessons. You'll notice that I put down a red sticky in your boxes. And so similar to what we did for the first activity where you talked about your career, what I want you to do is to summarize one thing that you would want either people that work with you or the audience to know that you've learned in your career. All of you have different paths in the data space, and in many ways, like we talked about in the first activity, have come about where you are today in a sort of roundabout or very varied way. So I want you to summarize that into either one sentence or one thought. And on the right side, you'll notice you'll have a little space. So if you supplement that with memes, with stickies, with pictures, or whatever you want to put in, basically visual aids for whatever your lesson is, I will give you extra points as well. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay. So I'm going to give you another 90 seconds here. Go ahead and put in anything you want onto the box. As a reminder, the red should be the biggest lesson you've learned in your career. And on the right side should be any visual aids that you want to support that lesson. I feel like know when to stop talking is a bit of a dig at me to tell me to stop talking, but Yeah, you guys have about 30 seconds left, so please continue adding anything you want to add. Oh man. Is that both of you adding, or is that you, Christine, adding both of those pictures or the GIF? Oh no.
The
Hannah.
GIF is not mine.
Yeah, that was Hannah. Okay, perfect. So let's go through these then. As I mentioned, the points will be awarded for this activity based on your explanation of the lesson, obviously, but also how well you can tie it to the visual aid that you put down. So, Hannah, you're in first place, so we'll actually have you go last. Christine, you go first. Walk us through yours.
I feel like the old lady who's like, get those kids off my lawn. But I feel like I'm very cynical now. And I think that a lot of venture capital, private equity, people applying for jobs, people in jobs really confuse results and process, and that they misattribute good and bad business performance to management. I think real life is a lot more like Dilbert or Office Space, or basically like a lot of people in leadership positions probably shouldn't be there. And basically, I think you should watch Office Space at least annually.
So in your mind, right, what are the qualities of good management, and what do you look for in either a manager, or as you manage others, what do you look to be yourself?
Well, mainly I'm talking about more executive level management and not so much like people managers of individual contributor functions, but a lot of companies do not change their strategy as their business fails or market dynamics shift, and they kind of double down on things that used to work. And I think that they often get stuck in the past, or they so I think there's so many ways you can go wrong. But then in terms of good management, I think, you frame it the opposite way, that they're adaptive, they're responsive, they're good at understanding and communicating the value that their company contributes to their customers. And I do think that the triple bottom line is a good way to frame business, that you've got employees, customers, and investors, and that many, many management strategies ignore probably 2 out of the 3 of those, usually employees and customers.
And it's interesting that you bring up the lack of let's call it adaptability to the market. And I feel like, especially in the consulting world, we're in a space now where both like structurally and due to like things that are happening in the market, like the rise of AI and everything, every consulting firm is having to think very critically about how they're growing, and being adaptable to just like not stick with the way things were done before is necessary. It's like a survival tactic now. And I'm curious to get your perspective on that too.
Yeah, I know it's not Vin Vishista's phrase that he coined, but he uses it a lot. And he says that the rate of change is the slowest that it will ever be. It is continuing to increase. And I do think that is true. And adaptability in terms of business models, go-to-market approaches, billing structures, what you price on, how you measure it, how you communicate it, is changing very rapidly over time. And I totally agree with what you just said, David.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So before we score this one, I want to hear from everybody else. So Allison, you're up next. Let's talk about yours. I think it's related to your first drawing, but go ahead.
It is. It probably planted the seed, but the learning is there's no one way or perfect path to success. And I think we could apply it to a career or pricing in particular. And so I think with the popularity of social media, we may compare ourselves to others. You're on LinkedIn and you're seeing people being promoted, or you see people post about what they're doing in pricing, or that they're diving into AI, and you're focused on the most basics in your company about pricing. There is no one perfect path, and you can't compare yourself to others. And so the magic sticker is, there's no magic to making your career a success. It is about hard work, setting goals, accomplishing your goals, setting new goals, and going after them. And it's okay to try different things, and to explore, and to fail, and to try again. And I am a firm believer in all of that.
It's very funny that you mentioned this bit. So earlier in the week, I posted a post about whether like success in consulting is about luck or skill. And in many ways, it tied to this concept that you're talking about, right? Like where essentially taking chances, taking opportunities to try new things, and kind of experimenting with the path to success is how you get to success. And sometimes it's just luck, right? Like trying different things and giving yourself opportunities to be lucky rather than expecting something to just happen by virtue of being the most skilled person at something is often how consulting firms succeed. And it made me think of that because like I think it's very similar sentiment, right? Of like there is no right path and you just have to try things and hope that you land on the right answer, basically.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's true. And you have to think about what risks you want to take. And and talking about getting or being lucky is just making sure that you're set up to take advantage of opportunities that really come along. So yeah, firmly believe that.
Awesome. I definitely agreed. So, Hannah, last but not least, let's go through yours.
Yeah. So my lesson is know when to stop talking. Um, there's two ways that I think this plays out. The first is when you're not confident, you tend to, or at least I tend to ramble and go on and on. And that's that first meme. You need to say less things. Just figure out what you want to say and then say that. The other thing, going back to Gen Z, oh, say less. That means I agree with you. And I actually think that when people are in agreement with you, they want you to shut up so that you can move on to the next thing. And so that's the other time that you need to say less is when everyone already agrees with you. You can just move on to the next thing. So that's a really hard lesson, especially if you are someone like myself who wants to talk and I really want to win this prize of getting to talk. So I'm going to say less.
I appreciate it. And as somebody that literally talks for a living all day, I think I should probably learn this lesson of like knowing when to stop talking as well. But great. Okay. So the twist I didn't tell you about this game is that for the scoring, and you'll notice I waited till the end to do this, is that I'm not going to be the one to score or decide who wins this activity. You guys are. So each of you will get a vote for who you think gave the best answer for this. And whoever gets the best answer will get a more outsized number of points for this activity and more than likely also win the game as well. So we'll go one by one. I'll ask you which one you think is the best answer. And then if there's a tie, I will serve as the tiebreaker from there. Make sense? But there shouldn't be a tie because there's 3 votes.
Well, 1, 1, and 1.
Yeah.
3 votes.
Maybe. Yeah, fair enough. If you each vote for yourselves, I will vote for whoever I think is the winner. If you each vote for each other, then I'll decide anyway. So Allison, we'll start with you. Who do you think had the best answer?
I really liked Hannah's answer. Christine, I loved your answer too. Not to say that yours wasn't good. I just think I related a lot to Hannah's answer.
Okay, Hannah.
Um, and not only because I love Office Space and Dilbert, although the memes did win me over. I do think I'm going to give the nod to Christine because I do think it is very hard to do things differently, especially at that top level. And so when you do encounter an executive group who is willing to change and adapt and sort of carry that torch, not just in a not performative way, but in a um, very tactical. We're making changes. It's amazing. So I agree. Good management is rare and valuable.
Amazing. Christine.
Thanks. So I'm going to give my second prize to Allison. I definitely think that your career is very personal and that people have different objectives in their career and that those change over time. So I think depending on what the purpose of the lesson is, like if you're advising other consultants, that's maybe my top answer. But as general purpose advice that applies across your career and kind of as a human being, say less. I'm giving it to Hannah. I couldn't really agree more and find this harder to do in practice.
Okay, so I think we have a winner. Hannah, congratulations. You are the winner of the game show. So you get you'll get 500 points here. It doesn't really matter because you're already ahead, but you are the winner of today's game show. So congratulations.
And I get to say more.
Yeah, correct. So in a very ironic twist, you do get to say more. So the way that this works now, first off, thank you guys for participating. And this is really awesome show and really awesome activity with a lot of good insights. The way that this works now is, as I mentioned, each of you will get to talk a little bit about something that you're working on or that you want to highlight. So people sometimes highlight things that they're working on for their companies, like if you're releasing something or something that you want people to know about what you do, or if there's something personal to you that you want to highlight that you think people should know more about, this is your time. So Hannah, you get to go last to close out the show. You get a slightly longer time. Allison and Christine, you each get a minute. So Allison, we'll start with you. What would you like to highlight?
So I just finished up a project where I was confirming a pricing approach with a company, and they were doing a good, better, best packaging option. They wanted to increase their prices, but they wanted to feel very confident about it. And when I showed them the value or the financial impact that their product had on their customers' service, or customers' revenue, then they got very excited and felt very confident about it. And it was such a great, quick project to feel like you could have that much impact on a company. It was fantastic. And I'm hoping I'm saying less as I go.
Very nice. Christine?
Two things. One, I am retiring from being a landlord, and I just yesterday listed my last rental property on the market here in the Twin Cities. So I'm really excited about that because it will give me more time to focus on analytics and less just emotional overhead of dealing with tenants. And it was a good run. I'm ready to be done. So that's a big step for me. And then the other thing is that I actually really love small business consulting. And I think the reason that I like it and that I struggle with it as a consultant is that you are more able to influence management in small companies. They have more kind of executive control usually. And so I like that. You can introduce new systems, new processes, new ideas, book recommendations, all sorts of things. I love small business consulting, and I'm working with a friend who runs a lumber store here, and I've been showing him some vibe coding and things that I think are just really insane for small businesses now. And I would say that the conflict as a consultant is that often the level of result that you can drive in a bigger organization is magnified by their revenue and their kind of profit margin potential. And so it's a really hard space to consult in, even though I love small businesses.
Amazing. Okay. Then Hannah, last but not least, close us out. What would you like to talk about?
All right. So I think I want to talk about the thing that I am the most excited that we're doing at Slalom, which is there is a ton of experimentation and I would say early stage productionalization of using AI in the enterprise setting. And one thing that I've been contributing to that's near and dear to my heart is an accelerator that we call Lighthouse. And we are basically taking conversations with data SMEs, existing documentation, and we are creating metadata descriptions of key data elements. And when you do it and you use something like Data Genie or one of those kind of out of the box chat with your data type things, you actually start to get some decent results, especially on those curated data sets. So it is something I'll go ahead and say Noel Anson and Axel Toberson are the primary developers of it, but it's something I'm absolutely in love with. It's one of my favorite accelerators is like you are both moving faster and doing better than you've ever done before. So there's no downside, and it really feels like a lot of upside. So that's the thing that I want to highlight. And if you want to learn more about it, you can ping me on LinkedIn.
Perfect. No, I think that's a wonderful way to end the show. So first off, like I mentioned earlier, it's been a pleasure having you all. Thank you for giving me 90 minutes of your time today. I really appreciate, especially how much you're leading into the activity. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks, David. It was super fun to finally meet Hannah, and always good to see Allison. I, have appreciated being connected over the years.
Yeah, and
thank you so much, David.
Yeah,
great to meet you, Hannah.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's been a pleasure, and for everybody else in the audience. So as a reminder, the work that we do at Superposition is to build workshops like the one that you saw today, and essentially gamify the process of talking through data strategy and AI strategy the same way that Allison, Hannah, and Christine have talked about in their different ways, to essentially build settings where we can help to navigate the process of talking to your clients about topics that are more technically dense than the ones we have talked about today, and also to coach and help advise other consultancies on how to use tools like this to essentially scale their own consultancies as well. So if you want to learn more about how we do and build settings like this one in more, let's call it professional settings, always available to chat. We're on LinkedIn and also on YouTube. Or our website is superpositionstrat.com. So please reach out on any of those if you ever want to learn more. Otherwise, please subscribe to this channel so you can get more of these episodes in the future and see more game show episodes in the future. And again, Allison, Hannah, Christine, thank you all for coming. If you wouldn't mind staying 1 second after the show, that's it for today. But thank you all again, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Thank you.